Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching us from. My name still remains Iken Namba. Today, I want us to talk about Australian award scholarships. But before we move on, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. So now let's get down to business. On your browser, you have to type the website, which is dfat.gov.au. As you can see on my browser here. So you click on enter. So the menu here where you should go to is people to people. People to people here. And then you click on it. You see Australia Award Scholarships. There are actually two scholarships, Australia Award Scholarships and Australia Awards Fellowships. But what we are discussing today is the Australia Awards Scholarships. So you click on this. This is one way to do this. Then another way to do this is just if you already have this direct link, this is the direct link to it, dfat.gov.au/people-to-people/Australia Awards/Australia Awards Scholarships. This particular link, if you have it written down somewhere and type it directly into your browser, will take you directly to the page. So, but if you don't know this, just follow the first step, which is dfat.gov.au, then go to people, and then select Australia Award Scholarship. So we are here on the website. The first thing we need to do is to check the participating countries to see if actually your country is qualified to apply for this scholarship. Doing this, you click participating countries, and then you see they divided everything into somehow regions. So you can see Asia as a continent. So when you click Asia, you see the countries in Asia that are qualified, Bangladesh and so on. Then for Pacific, you also see countries in the Pacific that are qualified. You also see for Middle East. And then for Africa, this is Africa. So when you click on Africa, you see the lists of countries that are qualified, arranged in alphabetical order. So starting from Algeria, Botswana, then you can see Nigeria is also qualified. Then here, there is no Cameroon. I can't see Cameroon here, which means that Cameroonians are not qualified. Then you can see Ghana. Ghanaians are qualified, fortunately. You can see Morocco. You can see Rwanda. Then let's see, then you can see Uganda, Zambia, Zimbabwe, the Gambia, Tanzania, Sudan, and so on and so forth. So just take your time to go through this list of countries that are qualified and see if your own country is there. So if it is there, then you know you are qualified to apply. Then the next thing to do is to check the opening and closing dates, because these dates are peculiar to countries. It's not same for all the countries. So you have to check to know the opening and closing date for your own country. So for this, you can see for all these countries in Africa listed here, the opening date is 1st February 2023, which means that it is currently open for Africans to apply. And the closing date is 1 May 2023, which means you have roughly 3 months to hand in your application. So starting from this moment you are watching this video, you have enough time to gather your supporting documents and put in your applications. There are also some contacts which are also specific to countries or regions where you can actually email them for inquiries if you have any. So for all countries in Africa, they can use this, inquiries.canberra@australiaawards.org. Then for Bangladesh, you see specific to Bangladesh. So for Bhutan and so on and so forth. So if you want to contact them directly for your inquiries, you have to use the specific contact for your particular region or country. So that is it for the opening and closing date. Then we have to briefly talk about how to apply. But before then, I think there are some things I need to point out. This particular scholarship, unfortunately, unlike SI, Swedish Institute Scholarship, this scholarship is not meant for immigrants or migrants into Australia, which means just like the Chevening Scholarship, you are also required to leave Australia after this scholarship, at least for a period of 2 years. So the penalty of not leaving after your graduation is that you will be required to pay back all the money spent on you during that particular scholarship period. So if you want to avoid this, you have to leave Australia after your scholarship period, at least for minimum of 2 years. So after that 2 years, you can decide to go back to Australia if you want. So I just mentioned this for you to know, but nevertheless, you can still apply. So it's not a big deal. You can study, go back to your country or study, leave Australia and change another country. I think that is still acceptable. So now, having said this, let's look at how to apply. On this particular aspects of our discussion, I wouldn't want to go in depth, so the practical aspect of it will not be part of this video. So I hope to do that in a separate video. So because I don't want this video to be unnecessarily too long, which will make it boring to watch. So we have to just focus on what you need to do if you want to apply. Then in a separate video, we actually do the practical applications. Now, how to apply? If you click on it, you see, of course, all these areas we have already done. Checking the opening and closing dates, we have already done that. We have also seen participating countries and are already convinced that we are qualified to apply. So we are done with this. Then the next one, if you intend to apply, you must read the Australian handbook. Okay, so this is a link. You can click on it to read the Australian handbook. So unfortunately, it is voluminous, but then you have to read it because it contains vital information which you need to know. This is the handbook. It has about 174 pages. 174 pages. So you need to take your time to go through it. So, and I will say that there is time for that. You have 3 months to do that. So just from today onwards, you can just take your time and go through it to know all you need to do for this particular scholarship application. Then here you can see some countries encourage and allow you to apply online, while others require hard copy applications. So you also need to check out this to know which one your country or region recommends, whether online or hard copy. So, but my check showed that for Africans, you can actually apply online. So if you want, we can check it together by clicking here, participating countries. So when we go there, we can then choose Africa. Then we click Africa again. And then you see the list of countries again. Then here you see Africa information for, then we can click this to get all the information peculiar to Africa. So you can see these are all the informations. Here you will even see the priority fields of study. So which means you need to choose courses in these areas: climate change, agriculture and food security, mining and energy, foreign policy and international security. So you can also see here applicants are assessed on their professional and personal qualities. Of course, this is similar to any other scholarship I know of. Even Swedish Institute Scholarship also assess applicants based on this. So basically, almost all scholarships are the same in terms of what they want from you as an applicant. That is the reason why it is easier for you to win one scholarship if you had already won another one. So they are basically the same, almost. Then you can see also here, applications are strongly encouraged from women, people with disability, and other marginalized groups. So that simply means that they want a kind of gender balance. So if you are a lady, let's say a woman or a man, you are encouraged to apply. So even if you are disabled, you are also encouraged to apply. Then let's get back to the main business. So for here, you see the application process for Africa. It is recommended you apply online. You can see it here. So it is also recommended that you submit all supporting documents. And these supporting documents can be seen in the Australian Awards Scholarship Policy Handbook. That is the reason why it is important for you to read that handbook. So don't be too lazy to do that. I know a lot of people don't want to read. So, but if you must win this scholarship, if you are interested in it, you have to read this handbook. So if you check the handbook, section 2.8 of it, which talked about the application process. So you see it explained the application process, and then 2.8.2 now shows you the supporting document which we are talking about. So applicants must supply documents to support their scholarship application, including but not limited to a certified copy of original formal degree graduation certificate. So blah, blah, blah. So you can see it. Then again, if it is not in English, you have to also include the certified translation. Then you also need an original formal academic transcript. You need that academic transcript. So if it is also not in English, you have to supply a certified translation of it as well. Then a certified copy of your citizenship document. Of course, this is in form of passport or national ID card. So if you don't have passport yet, but you have a national ID, you can actually use your national ID. Then a certified copy of your original birth certificate. If not in English also, you have to include the certified translation. Then you also need a curriculum vitae briefly detailing work history and responsibilities and research experience, if relevant to the applications. So just take your time to read this handbook, because if I decide to read everything, that would mean this video will last forever. So, but then I will point out the important points. So you see here, you also need the referee reports. And fortunately, they also have a document, or rather a template for this referee report. So the template is there. You can just download it and then possibly give it to whoever will refer you to fill and sign if necessary. So then you see here, at least one of the references must come from your academic background, that is from your previous university. So, and then the other one will come from example work supervisor. So, but then if you look at, you see at least one academic referee report and at least one other referee report, e.g. a work supervisor. So which means you need two referees, one from your previous university, one from work, for example. So which means it mustn't be from work. It can come from any other area, maybe civil society organization or whatever. So, but it will be two, one from your previous university, one from elsewhere. Then, but if your master's degree is by research or you are applying for PhD, then you must provide 2 academic referees reports, 2 academic referee reports. So you have to take note of this. So which means you mustn't necessarily get another one from work or civil society organization. You can get both from your previous university. So that is what this is talking about. You see, a template for the preferred format of a referee report is available on this link. When you click this link, it will take you to the page where you can download a Microsoft copy of this referee to be filled. So you see it here, referee template. You can download it as PDF or as doc file, which is Word document. So let's see how it looks briefly. You can see how it looks, 3 pages. This is how it looks. You have to send it to your referee to fill. Why should the applicant be considered for a scholarship? If you look at this, you will notice that all these are almost similar, because even for the SI scholarship, there is almost a similar question like this, where they asked why you think this particular scholarship is relevant for the applicant, something like that. But if you look at this, you see that they are almost the same, which means that if you are able to submit a strong application for one scholarship, there is at least 60 to 70% chances that you will also be able to submit strong applications to every other scholarships. And that explains the reason why sometimes some people win 2 to 3 scholarships in a row and we have to choose one. So it is your responsibility to work very hard and give the scholarship reviewers what they need. Okay. Having said this, I think we have to also look at the English language requirement. There is a place they talked about the English. Okay, this is it. For the English language requirement, they said here they accept IELTS with no band less than 6.0. So you see it here. But then there is a clause. If you look at this place, you see the clause. IELTS testing result is not a requirement for applicants if English was the language of instruction for your undergraduate degree. So this particular clause already exempts Nigerians, Ghanaians, and maybe South Africa and some other countries where English is actually their mode of study, the language of study. So this particular clause already exempts you guys from submitting IELTS. But if you have IELTS, you can still submit it. There is no harm in doing that. So that is it. Then the second clause, you studied in Australia within the last 2 years, or you complete, so you can read up all these things on your own. So until we submit our next video, where we will have to take the application, do a kind of practical application, then we have to end this particular video here. So this one is purposely to create awareness of this scholarship for you to be aware of it, for you to know the requirements, the eligibility requirements, the countries eligible to apply and all that. So in our next video, which I hope to see you also, then we will have to consider the practical applications, which you can see here. So for you to apply, you just click on this link. So we see how to fill the form and all that. So until then, thank you for watching this video. Goodbye and have a nice day. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. That way you support us to keep making videos. Goodbye and have a nice day.